In the small town of Elmridge, nestled at the edge of a dense forest, there stood an old Walmart store. It had been abandoned for years, with rumors swirling about strange occurrences within its walls. Local residents claimed to hear eerie whispers emanating from its empty aisles and caught glimpses of shadows darting through the shattered windows at night. One gloomy evening, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to explore the abandoned Walmart. The group consisted of Alex, the curious leader, Sarah, the skeptic, Mark, the thrill-seeker, and Emily, the sensitive one. Armed with flashlights and a sense of excitement, they entered the desolate building. As they stepped through the broken entrance, a sudden chill settled in the air. The flickering lights cast unsettling shadows on the shelves that once held an array of products. The atmosphere was suffocating, as if the building itself was alive and watching their every move. Their footsteps echoed through the empty store as they ventured deeper. Sarah's flashlight flickered, casting her into darkness for a split second. She laughed nervously, blaming it on faulty batteries, but her unease was palpable. The others forced smiles, but the sense of dread was growing stronger with each passing moment. Mark decided to brave the electronics section, hoping to find something interesting amidst the remnants of forgotten gadgets. As he picked up a dusty television remote, a voice echoed from the speakers, "Welcome to Walmart. How can I assist you today?" The voice was distorted, sending shivers down their spines. They exchanged bewildered glances, their fear escalating. Emily's flashlight revealed a long-forgotten section of Halloween decorations. As the light fell upon a motion-activated skeleton, it suddenly sprang to life, cackling and swaying as if possessed. The group screamed and stumbled back, their heartbeats echoing in the silence that followed. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, they moved deeper into the store. They reached the grocery section, only to find shelves stocked with rotten, decaying food. The stench was overpowering, causing them to cover their noses and mouths. A chilling breeze rustled the discarded grocery bags, carrying with it a faint whisper, as if the items on the shelves were trying to communicate. With their nerves frayed and panic rising, they made their way to the center of the store, where an old announcement speaker hung from the ceiling. Suddenly, a voice crackled through the speaker, sounding both distant and malevolent. "You should have stayed away," it hissed. The walls seemed to close in, and the exit they had come through appeared to be a distant memory. Panic turned to pure terror as they realized they were trapped, surrounded by the unsettling energy of the abandoned Walmart. Their flashlights began to dim, casting the group into darkness. In the shadows, they saw fleeting glimpses of figures moving around them, twisted, contorted forms that seemed to materialize and disappear at will. As the hours ticked by, their fear turned into desperation. The walls seemed to twist and contort, corridors leading to nowhere and doors appearing where there were none before. Whispers grew louder, merging into an eerie chorus of voices that echoed through their minds. One by one, their flashlights died, plunging them into total darkness. Their screams reverberated through the store as they stumbled blindly, trying to escape the nightmare that had swallowed them whole. The sensation of being touched by icy fingers and the relentless whispering drove them to the brink of madness. Days turned into weeks, and the once bold teenagers were reduced to hollow, broken shells. Their sanity shattered, they wandered the endless aisles, lost in a labyrinth of torment. No one knew what had become of them, as the abandoned Walmart seemed to have consumed their very souls. To this day, the old Walmart store stands as a grim reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows. Locals avoid the area, unable to forget the chilling tale of the teenagers who dared to venture inside. The store remains a dark, foreboding presence, a testament to the inexplicable and the terrifying, a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurs into oblivion. In the quiet town of Meadowbrook, nestled beneath a canopy of ancient trees, stood a Walmart that had long been a source of whispers and unsettling tales. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie shadows across the parking lot, the store seemed to come alive in ways that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Megan had heard the stories, but she dismissed them as mere folklore. One misty evening, curiosity got the best of her, and she decided to venture into the Walmart after dark. As she entered the store, the fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting an unnatural glow on the aisles. The smell of stale air mixed with a faint hint of something foul, making her stomach churn. Megan's footsteps echoed through the empty aisles as she made her way deeper into the store. Shelves were lined with rows of merchandise, seemingly untouched for years. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional creak of the linoleum floor beneath her feet. As she turned a corner, Megan caught a glimpse of movement out of the corner of her eye. Startled, she turned toward the source of the motion, but there was nothing there. She brushed it off as a trick of the mind, yet a lingering sense of unease settled in her chest. The air grew colder as Megan continued her exploration. The products on the shelves became more outdated and obscure, as if time had frozen within the walls of the Walmart. A flicker of movement caught her attention again, and this time she saw a shadowy figure darting between the aisles. Heart racing, Megan followed the figure deeper into the store. The fluorescent lights began to dim, and the atmosphere grew suffocatingly heavy. She stumbled upon a section of the store that seemed different from the rest, a bizarre assortment of items that defied explanation. Dolls with glassy eyes stared at her, their limbs twisted at unnatural angles. Jars containing unidentifiable substances lined the shelves, emitting a sickly sweet odor. A spine-chilling whisper echoed through the aisle, sending a shiver down Megan's spine. She spun around, her eyes darting around the dimly lit space. The shadows seemed to elongate and twist, forming grotesque shapes that danced at the edge of her vision. A distant sound of footsteps echoed from somewhere nearby. Megan's breath caught in her throat as she realized she was not alone. Panic surged through her veins, urging her to flee, but an invisible force seemed to pull her deeper into the heart of the nightmarish Walmart. Amidst the darkness, figures began to emerge, shambling toward her with hollow eyes and twisted grins. Their presence radiated malevolence, and Megan's heart raced as she backed away. But the aisles seemed to shift and change, trapping her in a labyrinth of terror. Desperation gave her newfound strength, and Megan sprinted through the aisles, the cacophony of whispering and laughter chasing after her. She finally burst through the doors, stumbling out into the cool night air. She collapsed onto the pavement, gasping for breath and shaking from the horrors she had witnessed. Megan never spoke of that night, and the Walmart of Meadowbrook stood as a chilling reminder of the darkness that could lurk beneath even the most familiar places. The town's inhabitants continued to avoid the store after dark, the unsettling stories passed down from generation to generation, a testament to the eerie and terrifying secrets that the Walmart held within its walls. In the quiet town of Hollowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, stood a Walmart like no other. As the largest and oldest store in the region, it had seen its fair share of shoppers over the years, each leaving with their carts filled and their wallets emptied. But beneath the fluorescent lights and cheerful greeters lay a darkness that chilled the bones of anyone who dared to look closer. The story started with whispers among the employees. Late-night shifts were a different experience altogether, as strange noises echoed through the empty aisles and shadows danced just beyond the reach of the flickering lights. Janitors spoke of hearing faint cries coming from the toy section, and stock clerks swore they saw figures moving between the clothing racks when they thought they were alone. One night, as a fierce thunderstorm raged outside, a group of teenagers decided to take the dare that had been passed down through generations. They would spend the entire night locked inside the Walmart, armed with nothing but flashlights and trembling nerves. As the clock struck midnight, they ventured deeper into the store, laughing nervously to mask their unease. But as the hours wore on, their laughter faded. The storm outside intensified, casting eerie shadows through the rain-splattered windows. Shelves seemed to shift when they weren't looking, and the faint sound of children's laughter echoed from distant corners. A sense of unease settled over the group, and they split up to explore, hoping to find some explanation for the unsettling occurrences. As one teenager wandered into the electronics section, he stumbled upon an old CRT television playing a static-filled video. Intrigued, he leaned in closer, his heart racing as the flickering images gradually formed into a chilling scene. A figure in a tattered uniform, a former Walmart employee, whispered warnings of the store's dark secrets. The teenager stumbled back, the television shutting off on its own as if the ghostly figure had decided its message had been delivered. In another corner of the store, a girl found herself in the midst of the pet aisle, surrounded by cages filled with silent, unmoving animals. Yet, as she peered closer, the animals' eyes gleamed with an otherworldly intelligence, fixated on her with an unsettling hunger. She backed away, her steps quickening as she felt an unseen force tugging at her. The group reunited, their faces pale and their courage waning. But their ordeal was far from over. As they attempted to leave, they discovered that the doors were locked and the windows were covered with a thick, impenetrable darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped within the store's relentless grip, surrounded by the manifestations of its haunted past. Hours turned to days as the teenagers struggled to survive in the ever-shifting labyrinth of the Walmart. They encountered distorted reflections in mirrors that whispered terrible truths, mannequins that seemed to move when they weren't looking, and shelves that rearranged themselves with malicious intent. The once cohesive group began to fray, paranoia and fear tearing at their bonds. One by one, they were claimed by the horrors of the store. Some vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint echo of their terrified screams. Others were driven to madness by the constant whispers that seemed to seep from the walls themselves. And those who remained were forced to confront their own pasts, facing their deepest regrets and darkest fears. As the last of them finally succumbed to the relentless terrors of the Walmart, the storm outside began to subside, and the first rays of dawn broke through the windows. The store returned to its seemingly benign appearance, as if the horrors of the night had never occurred. But the whispers lingered, carried on the wind as a warning to those who dared to enter its doors. To this day, the Walmart in Hollowbrook stands as a chilling reminder that even the most familiar and mundane places can hide unimaginable terrors. So, next time you enter a Walmart, remember to keep an eye over your shoulder and an ear open for the faintest whispers in the air. You never know what might be lurking just beyond the shelves, waiting to drag you into the darkness.